Hey everybody, it's Alexia from amysticspath, back with another weekly energy video for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Now, I would like to just go ahead and dive right in, let you guys know what it is that I'm seeing and what it is that I'm feeling for this week and how we need to work with all of this energy. Now, first, I'm really seeing and feeling the energy of like clutching onto something, and the word safety blanket keeps coming through, and it's like this energy of clutching onto something, whether it be like a physical tangible item like a necklace or a blanket, or really just anything that physically tangible, or if it's a person or a mindset. These can all be used as this thing of like this safety blanket thing that you're kind of like been clutching onto, something that helps you feel put together when things are crazy or when you're not feeling the best. It gives you comfort. But we are coming to this energy of, I see this shell of like this safety blanket shell almost cracking, and we're contemplating whether like our environment and where we're at and where we're trying to go, and kind of this energy of feeling like sick and tired of feeling like you need this one thing, or that this one thing is the only thing that gives you like this peace and calm within your environment. And we kind of see this shell cracking and kind of this contemplation to seek out and do different and be almost in a different environment. When we get into the cards, we see the King of Wands and Grand Voice. And by now we all know that the King of Wands, and especially if you've been a watcher for a while, we all know that the King of Wands is very determined, and he is full of fire and passion and willpower, and he is going to go and get shit done. He is not going to let anybody talk him into what he's had his mind set on, no matter how much you're coming from emotion or how much you're coming from logic. He has his mind set, and people are going to follow him. Even people that you would never even think are going to see what it is that he's talking about and follow him because of this passion and enthusiasm, and you can tell his intention is pure by the way he is talking and doing these things. But nevertheless, what I'm seeing is this energy of the King of Wands being very determined. Nobody is going to be able to knock you off your path while you're getting out of this toxic emotional cycle that you have been in, and you are finding your way almost to this safe haven, or this energy of this environment that is peaceful, where the boat's not getting rocked all the time by all of this other drama and all of this other bullshit that was going on in your old environment. We're working towards, and very viciously, very determined to get to this place of peace and harmony. Like I said, almost like this heaven on earth place, but something that is specifically yours, that you're working towards in your life. It's not everybody's safe haven. This is yours. This is what it looks like when you're at peace. This is what it looks like when your boundaries aren't being crossed. Okay, whatever that looks like for you, I see a very big determination and willpower driven motivation to get to this place and get out of this energy of chaos. Okay, now how this energy is going to affect us mentally, we get the Eight of Wands, okay, as well as Simbi de Lalu. And this is really saying that you're kind of just ready to kind of just strike out and go after it, and like start obtaining your peace and your happiness in this almost a safe haven type energy now. But the thing is you're not really like, it's not even an energy of that you're even talking about it, or even this is what I'm doing or anything. You're kind of just gathering up what it is that you need, almost like in the mouth of this snake, and he's just moving along. He's got, all his little, his messengers and his little companions with him, because it is nobody's business. We don't need people trying to talk us out of what we're trying to do or put their 2 cents in. You're just kind of waiting, heeding the call when the time is to just shoot forward, and kind of doing that. It's not, we're not giving people warnings here, or warnings that we're kind of exiting and moving to a different page. We're just kind of doing, okay? Now, what I see for how this will affect us emotionally, we get the Strength card and Les Varans. Now, every time we exit a situation or exit a thought pattern in our life, it takes courage and strength. Why? Because humans like to be comfortable. We like to be in a place where we have stability. And when we are starting to change things, that stability, that structure has to be taken apart and rebuilt. So this causes fear. And when we have fear, fear can really consume us because, well, we're afraid of it. It's fear. That is, you are afraid of what you fear, obviously. Okay, so we have to have this courage. We have to be able to roar in the face of danger or fear, like the lion, and continue to push forward with this strength and this fire within us that, again, we're not going to be knocked over easily, i.e. the King of Wands. And knowing emotionally, not knowing mentally and logically, but knowing emotionally and intuitively that anything can happen, anything can change, things can configure in ways that you would never even expect them to configure. But you have to be open to that and have the strength to look your fear in the face and say, fuck you. And that's just is what it is. Like, you're not going to defeat me. You're not going to knock me down. I'm doing this thing. I'm continuing on my path past this roadblock, past what this fear is telling me that I can and can't do. And I'm going to continue to move past these things, because literally anything can happen. Miracles happen. Things work themselves out in ways that we would never expect all of the time. Most of the time, things don't really come through the way that we expect that they're going to come through. That is because things that you don't expect can just fall into place. That's how fate works. That's how the divine works. Everything is within perfect timing. So, but within this, I'm really seeing like the big F you to your fear, and kind of having that courage and that strength to move past that, okay? Because just like fear is derived from our emotions, and can really will really play tricks with our minds and cause illusion for us to not be able to see clearly. And we want to just like not even have that a factor and like kick it down before it can even stand up in our face. Now, what I'm seeing with how we need to work with this energy is we get the 10 of Cups and Yagu, okay? And this is all about your happiness, i.e. the safe haven that we have talked about. And, this doesn't have to be a physical place at all. It can be more of a mindset and what you've cleared out of your external and internal environment as a safe haven as well. I want to emphasize that it does not have to be like a specific place, although for some people it may be. But anyways, we are looking at how to work with this energy. We're looking at the 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups is all about our happiness and emotional fulfillment and where we are most happy and feel achieved within life. Okay, and this is what we're working towards. This is our goal, our safe haven, where we're trying to get to. This place where we feel peace, this place where we feel calm. And within this, we have to be very protective of that. And be in a place where we are looking at, no matter, what we look like or who we are, or how much of a warrior that we think that we are, that we are going to work for this and protect our happiness, our future, and our safe haven. And we are going to fiercely protect this on our own, but also calling in outside protection. This may be divine protection. This may be, physical protection when we're looking at the crossbow here, but we are calling in protection from all angles to protect our happiness, to protect our vision. And when we look at this, a lot of times that comes in as boundaries and the amount of information that we are telling people. Not everything is for everyone to know, especially when it's pertaining our happiness, especially when it's something that we're working hard on. Okay, we are fiercely protecting this on our own and calling in divine intervention for protection as well on our path, on our happiness, on our safe haven, on our peace. Okay, enforce your boundaries and invoke protection on your path. Okay, when we look into the conclusion cards, we get the 8 of Pentacles and Marasa. And this is really saying that we're going to be working hard at this. This is going to be a dedication. We are working at our happiness. We are working to find our safe haven. We're working our boundaries to see which ones we need. How strong do they need to be? How flexible do they need to be? Are they more flexible with, certain people? Does that need to change? Okay, we're working on getting to where we're trying to go, okay, within our peace in our lives and where we feel at home and calm within. And this is really saying that the harder that you're working on this, the more it's going to come together and the more you are going to create what it is that you are inevitably trying to create. The harder that you work at it, the more those boundaries get put up, the more you say no when you want to say no instead of saying yes because you feel bad, the more you cut people out of your life that's toxic, the more you take that step and make that move that you've been wanting to make. It's going to come together more and more. The more you enforce it, the more you call it in, the more you are strict, the more you stand tall, the more you perfect it, the more it's going to come in because you're preparing. And when we're looking at this safe haven, again, it's not always a place. When we're looking at being within peace, a lot of times it's not a place, it's something that is coming from within. And the harder that we're working on it, the more we're going to create that peace. Again, the more we're putting up boundaries, the more we're saying no when we want to say no, the more we're saying yes when we want to say yes, the more we're cutting people out, okay? The more we're standing up for ourselves is more creating this peace and creating inevitably this strength within inside you, because the more you speak your truth and the more you say no when you want to say no, or the more you say yes when you want to say yes, is building up this strength and this power within inside of you. And it's coming together every time you work on it harder and harder. Every time you're faced with a decision and you have to build up that strength or build up that courage, that is being built and instilled and created with you even more. The more you say no and pick your peace over the family dinner event that you were supposed to go to, or the event in general that you were supposed to go to, or whatever the case may be, the more you speak up and say no for your peace, the more this peace is going to be created inside you. Okay, the more you work at it, the more it's going to come in and be created. Now, of course, I also pulled some supporting cards. And what I'm seeing within this is, one, the energy of keeping yourself grounded and making sure that you're not getting too off balance and you're really rooting yourself within the physical and the present. So you're not getting all floaty and where you want to be and where you're at and how things are getting confusing. Really ground yourself within the present and look at what it is that you have in front of you. Because within this, we see things. One, we get the Union card with things coming together. Like almost like I get what you're seeking is seeking you. So like the peace that you're seeking and the environment change that you're seeking and the safe haven that you're seeking is seeking you. Okay, so we see two things coming together because you're putting that energy out and that energy is waiting for you in response to respond to you. But then again, we have to ingrain protection. One, we're asking for divine protection from, our guides, our deities, whatever it is, God, whatever. We're asking for protection, but we're also protecting our peace and our space and our love by not saying everything that we're working on, not saying everything that we're doing, not saying everything that we're feeling. And we're really greatly protecting that. And we're also using our intuition within this as well. We get the imagination card, and we're really using our intuition on this, and we're really using our intuition on what it is, what information that we're going to be discreting. We're using our information on, or our intuition on what is good decisions for us to make. Okay, what feels good to us and what doesn't feel good to us. We're doing the things that feel good to us initially and saying no to the things that feel bad to us initially. And we're really, really just listening to our intuition before we are really telling too much, doing too much, is this, like making our decisions based on what feels good to us intuitively instead of what makes sense to us logically. Now, obviously, this isn't in all aspects of your life. We're talking about making decisions on what feels good to us within trying to obtain our peace and our safe haven. And within that, we're using our intuition on what events we're going to, what people we're surrounding ourselves with, what food we're ingesting into our bodies, all of that. We're using our intuition on these decisions because we want to be in a place where we're ready and able to accept this peaceful, ingraining energy that we're looking for, that's seeking us just as much as we are seeking it. Okay, now I hope that this has been very helpful for you. If you feel that you need a spread specifically for yourself, because this is very general and for a very wide range of people, it is for the collective. So if you need a reading specifically for yourself, please do not hesitate to contact me, and I would love to work with you.